Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Ernest Durham. I'm the president and the CEO of the Durham Corporation, and we are a 39-year-old hair care products company. But before we get started with our presentation on how we as black people, black Americans, can recreate our own prosperous economy using the black hair care industry, I want to share some important information with you first. These are important statistics, brothers and sisters, so please pay close attention to them. I want to show you where black Americans rank in the world as far as our spending power is concerned, brothers and sisters. Now, black Americans spend over $500 billion annually on hair care products, nearly 9 times more money than non-blacks. This is on hair care products, brothers and sisters. The beauty industry is where our prosperity is, and it's where it's going to come from, because we already have the money. And keep in mind that the hair weave industry that we all know about, it generates another $9 billion annually. So this is a lot of money spent in our neighborhood beauty supply stores is what I'm trying to get you all to see. This is money that we have as a race of people, and we spend it with other people. Now, annually, black Americans spend about $2 billion on Air Jordans, $4 billion on alcohol and beer, $600 million a year on fast food, brothers and sisters, and over $1 billion on those Timberland shoes that a lot of young guys are wearing. And we buy 43% of the cell phones in America. Let's think about these statistics now, because some of these figures will stagger you to know that we collectively have this kind of money. We spend 23% on television, brothers and sisters, 21% of all the radios that are bought in the country, 18% on the internet, and we buy more designer purses and clothes than any other race of people. And even though we are only about 40 million people, brothers and sisters, we make up 63% of the crime in America. Now, this is really something to think about, because we have $1.2 trillion in spending power among ourselves. So it's not that we don't have the money, brothers and sisters. We have the money, we just give it to other people. And we make them rich while many of our people are living in poverty. We're living in lack and want in our neighborhoods, brothers and sisters, and we're giving all this money away to other people just because they sell things to us. Now, another thing I want you all to understand is that black people in America has the 12th largest economy in the world. Think about what I'm saying now. In the whole world, we have the 12th largest economy. In other words, there are only 12 countries in the world that have more spending power than black Americans. And I'm not talking about black people all over the world, just in America. And the other 11 countries that have more spending power than us are Russia, and they only have $1.578 trillion in spending power. Now, keep in mind, we have $1.2 trillion. Russia, as big as Russia is, it only has $1.578 trillion worth of spending power. And as big as Canada is, they only have 1.8, and we're at $1.2 trillion. Mexico has $1.5 trillion. Brazil has $2.14 trillion. Italy has $2.18 trillion. India has $2.85 trillion. France has $2.93 trillion. The United Kingdom, which makes up England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, well, they only have $2.94 trillion collectively. So England may have more spending power than black Americans, but Ireland, Scotland, and Wales don't. They have to combine theirs just to come up with $2.94 trillion. And we're at $1.2 trillion by ourselves. Now, Germany has $4.2 trillion worth of spending power. Japan has $5.1 trillion. China has $14 trillion. And America has $20.4 trillion, brothers and sisters. But when you subtract the $1.2 trillion that black Americans alone generate, that leaves the rest of America with 19.2 trillion. So with $1.2 trillion worth of spending power among black people in America, brothers and sisters, we have more spending power than the 9 richest African countries. And those countries are Ghana with 51.62 billion, Tanzania with 56.66 billion, and I'm saying billion now. We're not talking about trillion. Black America is in the trillion. These African countries are in the billions. So let's keep that in mind. Ethiopia has 85.66 billion. Kenya has 88.27 billion. Angola has 119.43 billion. Algeria has 197 billion. Morocco has 121 billion. Egypt has 235.4 billion. South Africa has 370.89 billion. And Nigeria, which is the largest of all the African countries, has 375.8 billion. Not trillion now, billion. Black America is the only black country or black group of people that are in the trillions of dollars. That's what I'm saying. Now, black America has more spending power than the 9 richest Arab countries, brothers and sisters, and many of these countries produce oil. So let's keep in mind what we're talking about here. Now, Saudi Arabia only produces $683.8 billion, not trillion. This is billions of dollars. The United Arab Emirates generates $382.6 billion. Qatar has $167.6 billion. Pakistan has $305 billion. Iran has $439.5 billion. Iraq has $197.7 billion. Syria has $40.41 billion. Lebanon has $51.84 billion. And Israel has $350.9 billion, brothers and sisters. Nobody's in the trillions. None of those countries in the trillion. But black America has the spending power to the tune of $1.2 trillion. And it's only 40 million of us. So now that we know how much we're worth, brothers and sisters, as opposed to all the other countries in the world, what are we going to do with this knowledge? Are we going to use it to control our own destiny or continue to live in poverty and keep complaining about what other people are doing to us? It's time for us to wake up, brothers and sisters, and start controlling our spending power by buying from and selling to each other and putting our money and our votes behind the candidates who will speak up for us in Washington. We have the power, brothers and sisters. We have to learn how to use it. Now, many of you have probably heard of Black Wall Street, and we talk about that all the time. This was a period when we as black people had our own cities. We had our own banks and hospitals, schools and police and fire departments, brothers and sisters. We had our own businesses that were very prosperous because we worked in unity, and we bought from and sold to each other. And we created a very prosperous economy for ourselves without asking and begging other races of people for their wealth the way many of our people are doing today. And saying Black Wall Street is just a model. It's not that we want to necessarily call ourselves Black Wall Street, but we want to pattern ourselves after that model and get back to that economic security that we once had as a black race of people. Now, in order to create our own prosperous economy, brothers and sisters, there are 4 things that we must have. In every one of our communities, we've got to make sure that we prosper and be able to survive from within, and those 4 things are bank first, or a steady stream of income, and the Durham Corporation can provide you with that until we do get our banks. I can hire everybody in the country to work for me. So that's the steady stream of income that I'm talking about. That will create the financial security that we need. And we also need our schools and grocery stores and hospitals, brothers and sisters. This is how we survive from within. Now, like I said, Black America is the richest black nation on earth, brothers and sisters, and we're the only black population that has the ability to improve our situation. We have the ability to improve the quality of our lives, brothers and sisters, because the black people in Africa and the Caribbean don't have access to the money like we do. And we're just getting the crumbs off of the table. Keep that in mind. And we're still in the trillions of dollars. We're just the crumbs from this mighty rich nation that we live in. But we have the ability to help ourselves, brothers and sisters, but because of brainwashing and self-hate, we've chosen not to do it. We haven't been able to get ourselves out of the deplorable living conditions that many of our people have been forced to live in because of brainwashing and self-hate. But that can't go on forever. We can't allow it to go on forever. See, because in all sports, brothers and sisters, we play as a team. But when it comes to our race of people, as a race of people, we haven't learned to play as a team because we don't buy from and sell to each other. We give our money to other people. We give our money to other races of people. So we can't be mad at them. I'm not mad at any race of people who work together, brothers and sisters, because when we learn the power of unity and start working together, we'll have this poverty and this racism thing that everybody complains about, we'll have it beat. We can beat this thing because we have the resources to do it, is what I'm saying. So consequently, I'm not going to spend 1 second complaining about racism, discrimination, and police brutality. Because we have the resources to change things, brothers and sisters. We can change things in Washington with our votes by putting our money behind the candidate that's going to speak up for us in Washington. They can take care of all the racism and the discrimination. Otherwise, they don't get our votes. We all know what's been done to us, brothers and sisters. So now it's time to start working as a team and do something about it. Because if we don't, these things that we're complaining about will just continue to happen. And I know what we're talking about can't be accomplished overnight. But you can start by emailing us and requesting your forms to get started to join me in my efforts to recreate the prosperous economy that we once had. And that's mainly circulating our money, brothers and sisters, 8 to 12 times in our community before we allow it to leave our communities. And that's accomplished by us, once again, buying from and selling to each other. Now, historically, brothers and sisters, Hispanics circulate their money in their communities on an average of 6 to 8 times before they allow it to leave the community. Whites circulate their money 8 to 12 times. Asians and Arabs circulate their money 13 to 14 times. And Jewish people circulate their money on an average of about 18 times. But black money, brothers and sisters, doesn't circulate not once. Because as soon as a black person gets paid, he goes straight to somebody else's business to give them his money. And this is mainly because we don't have businesses in our own neighborhoods. And we buy out of convenience. And we've always been like that. If it's convenient, we'll go and spend our money. We're the only ones that I know who buy out of convenience. So, since we don't have, too many businesses in our neighborhoods, we're forced to do that. But we've got enough resources to start our own businesses. But we've got to pull together as a team and work in unity, brothers and sisters. Because if we don't have businesses, this is no way to prepare for your future, and it's no way to prepare for the future of your children. Now, another thing I want you all to understand is that one out of every 35 whites has a business, brothers and sisters. 1 out of every 53 Hispanics has a business, but only 1 out of every 105 blacks has a business. And business is the foundation of any race's wealth. Understand that. If you're going to be wealthy, you've got to have a business. You've got to buy and you've got to sell. We cannot just continue to be consumers. We've been satisfied just being consumers. We've got to have somewhere other than a job that our money comes from. Business is the foundation of any race's wealth, brothers and sisters, and this is why the Durham Corporation is setting you up in your own small business as distributors of our hair care products. So we can start buying from and selling to each other like other races of people do. And many of them sell to us. They not only buy and sell from, to each other, many of them are selling to us. This is why they open up stores in our neighborhoods when they move to this country, because they know we don't care who we spend our money with. That's got to change if we're going to improve the quality of our lives, brothers and sisters. We've got to redirect money back into our households. With me setting you up in your own small businesses, this is how you redirect thousands of dollars back into your own house. But you've got to have a business. This is how we create prosperous economies in our communities. And they'll all consist of our own businesses, brothers and sisters, where we buy from and sell to each other. And I hear people talking about unemployment. But I don't believe in unemployment, brothers and sisters, because I can employ everybody in America. I can set you up in your own business. Everybody knows somebody they can sell some product to. You see, the guys who own these stores in our neighborhoods don't have any trouble finding black people to sell black hair care products to. They sell to hundreds and thousands of people every week. So your business is what's going to provide you with the income, the cars, the clothes, and the food, and other things that you'll need. And this simple 3-step process involves you buying 1 bottle of our hair care products, brothers and sisters, and selling just 4 bottles to your same 4 customers over and over and over. And you're going to do this twice a month, brothers and sisters. I don't need you to work for me but 2 days out of the month. Twice a month, buy 1 bottle from your distributor and sell 4 bottles to your same 4 customers. It's about circulating money, brothers and sisters, not spending money. You'll spend the sales commission that you'll get paid from this company. That's what you'll spend, but you'll circulate the price of the product, the 1 bottle of product. If everybody buys 1 bottle of product, we have this thing beat, because unity is what creates the wealth. It's not the price of the product that creates the wealth. It's us working together that creates the wealth. This is what I've got to get everybody to understand if we're going to get out of this financial rut that most of our people have been living in. It's about unity, brothers and sisters. And your sales commissions, once you get employed, fill out your employment application. In the next 30 to 60 days or less, you'll be receiving your first sales commission. And that depends on how fast everyone can sell just 4 bottles of our product. And you'll receive your sales commissions every month after that. And you'll be working for the Durham Corporation, brothers and sisters. So as long as you do your work, you'll be paid just like on any other job. Okay. Now, a portion of our company's profits is going to be used to fund our Save Our Sons initiative. That's SOS, Save Our Sons. And these are young kids in our communities that are at risk from, to gangs and drugs and crime and everything that our young people, police brutality, and everything else that they've had to deal with out here in these urban cities. Save our sons. We've got to send them to school, brothers and sisters. And this is what our plan is to do. These are tuition-free trade schools, so they'll learn plumbing. They'll learn carpentry. They'll learn electrician, a trade of being an electrician. We had a cosmetology teacher on last week. She's volunteered her services to come in and teach them how to do cosmetology work. We'll have barbering. We'll have computer programming. We'll have video production. So it depends on what these children want to learn. We will hire the people to come in and teach them. But see, this can all be accomplished by us working together. Everybody's got children. They have to have somewhere to go. Everybody's not cut out for college. These children have to have something to do. They need to learn to do something with their hands. So they'll always have a job. They'll always be in demand. No matter what the economy does, they know how to do something. So our children are at risk, brothers and sisters. You all know that. You look at the news, you see what's going on out there. But it's up to us to start working together in unity. And Durham Corporation has the plan, not only to make you all financially secure with sales commissions, but to also fund the Save Our Sons program. Now, this live broadcast is every week, brothers and sisters, and it allows you to ask questions after the broadcast, and it also allows you to request your employment application and all the other details that you need to get started by emailing us at WEPA, that's WEPA, WEPA, that's We're Empowered to Prosper in America, WEPA, 4U2, that's the number 4, the letter U, the number 2 at AOL.com, and request the employment application to get you started. If you have people that you know who need employment, brothers and sisters, we can employ them. Because everybody knows somebody that they can sell black hair care products to. That's our birthright, brothers and sisters. A birthright that's we've been blessed with, and we're giving it away to other people. And we can't continue to do that. If we're going to survive as a race of people, we've got to take our birthright, at least a portion of it. I'm not saying don't go to the stores and buy hair care products, but let's circulate at least one product among ourselves that will get us out of the financial conditions that we've been in. We have the system here at Durham Corporation. All we have to do is cooperate with each other, brothers and sisters, trust each other first. Because, you know, it hasn't been a lot of trust. So first we've got to start trusting each other and then buying from and selling to each other. Now that's our presentation for today. I'm going to allow the audience to unmute their phones and ask any questions that they may have. Thanks for being so attentive, and we'll be back next week.